Alright, what is good, y'all? It's the Sandman back at it again with another reaction video. Today we're finally finishing Load, which is a hell of a ride so far, man. We're on the final song, The Outlaw Torn, and from what I've heard from online forums, some people that I know, and even some of you guys in the comments, this song is one that you cannot miss. And apparently I've missed it already because it's been this long since I actually heard this song. Um, but I am familiar with a lot of Metallica fans really um, appreciating this song in particular off of this album. So I liked Ronnie, man. That was a killer last song. I remember playing it in the gym today. And it was kick ass. So definitely a lot more. Um, Definitely a lot more positives than what I was expecting. From this album as a whole. But let's get right into it, man. I got my lyrics pulled up. Let's get it. It's the Outlaw Torn. Let's see how they conclude this album, man. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so I'm gonna have a quick pause right there for copyright purposes, obviously. But man, thus far, that riff is really sick. It's a feel good riff, but it has that aggression. It has that drive. That steady groove. That's been a theme throughout this album. Um, but I really like that main riff. The intro is good, and I'm feeling like this can be an epic song. We're not even a quarter of the way through. I feel like this whole thing's just gonna go through ups and downs, maybe like Bleeding Me. Um, I'm not gonna touch on the lyrics yet, but I just want to get right back into it. But so far, it's been really good. And the vocals that I just heard right there, probably my favorite part of the song thus far. Um, yeah, James killed it right there. So let's so we're almost near the end, but that was a dope jam section, man. I mentioned it in a couple of the other reaction videos, but I really, this is something I have not heard from Metallica, because it's not really common in the thrash metal, genre to have these like slower extended jam sections like this. But they really, it doesn't sound like anything else that I've heard from other bands, man. The way just Kirk uses the wah, these bass lines really drive the song too, and that's what's I really like in the verses. The bass just adds something very ominous to the background. It's a very, it's like it's just very thick, very dense. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Lars is his thing. He's got some nice little fills, not too complex, not too over the top, but it's like it fits, man. Of course, that's all you can ask for. The drummer's got to fit, play in the pocket. He's doing very nice. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'll touch on the lyrics at the end, but I can see why a lot of Metallica fans are liking this song a lot. And when those instruments kick back in, start off as a slow jam. He's playing with the volume knob a little bit. I like that effect, and he has some screaming sort of. It sounded like the guitar was screaming, something you would hear in like a Pink Floyd song. Echoes comes to mind, something something like that. So it's very creative. Um, yeah, man. These lyrics though, I'm having, you know, once I find the meaning behind these lyrics, it's gonna add a whole new dimension to the song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely gonna be looking into this. But yeah, let's get right back into it. Wow. Um, there you go, man. Outlaw Torn. And I like the ending, man. I feel like the ending, for some reason, left leaves you wondering, man. It seems like it almost feels as though it's like you see a movie and the ending just leaves you with more questions. You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling right now because it just kind of fades off and the song was just picking right back up into a whole new thing and just kind of fades away. Maybe that's something to do with, having making Reload right after Load. Maybe they had this like two back to back consecutive albums in mind, so it's just segues into Reload. I have no idea, but that's what I'm feeling, man. I feel like wanting more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that was a stylistic choice that they did. So very interesting. Um, Yeah, man, there's a lot to unpack here. I think, musically, I the bass. I got to give it to Jason Newsted, man. He laid down the track, the bass line, the groove. The verses were really dictated by his bass line, and of course James, raspy um, vocals. But then though he kicks in with the Outlaw of Torn in the chorus, he's just like it's just it's like a call. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a you know like a werewolf. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the night when you hear them when you hear them when the moon comes up. That's what reminds me of. Um, so very very good. That part was amazing. The main riff was amazing. I think um, I think the first three choruses of the song with the main riff coming in during the main parts, during the rhythm of the little solo section. I love that riff. Um, Intro was great. But yeah, let's get to the lyrics, man. So it seems very abstract, more abstract for some reason to me than the other songs that I've heard off this album. Um, but to me, it sounds like obviously the Outlaw of Torn. I don't know what Outlaw of Torn means. Torn away from something. Um, Sounds like could be a lover. Um, but I know that Metallica really doesn't do a lot of that lovey-dovey stuff, so it may not be. It sounds like someone who left this person's life. Um, I've heard some things about Cliff. Maybe it's about Cliff's death and moving on from that. Um, the more I search, the more my need for you. The more I bless, the more I bleed for you. So maybe like sort of festering on this idea of loss. How you lost someone that's so dear to you and so loved. And that loss sort of leaves you behind with this pain that you have to deal with. Um, and one really dark line. If that is in fact what this song means, you make me smash the clock and feel I'd rather die behind the wheel. So obviously, he died in the bus accident. Very tragic. Um, so yeah, but I think lyrically, I think this concluding verse that they repeat twice. If I close my mind in fear, please pry it open. See me. If my face becomes sincere, beware. Hold me. When I start to come undone, stitch me together. Save me. And when you see me strut, remind me of what left this outlaw torn. So I think it's like trauma. It reminds me of trauma, needing intervention so that this trauma doesn't overcome you, is what that's kind of reminding me of. Um, if my face becomes sincere, beware, because I think sincerity is like authenticity, honesty, you know what I mean? So beware means could be a rush of emotions coming out. When I start to come undone, stitch me together because I don't know if I can, keep myself together with this loss. Um, and I think, when you see me strut, so obviously when you strut, you're sort of, what I get from strut is, you're walking, you know, head high, you're walking confident, whatever. It's a positive word, but remind me of what left this outlaw torn. So remind me of what what was lost, how I've been spared potentially, so I can be grateful for where I am now and understand that this pain that I felt has made me the person that I am right now, and that I have to not let this pain overcome me, but at the same time I have to realize that it's happened. You know, so a lot of different thoughts, and I'm kind of rambling. I don't want to drag this on too long, but this is definitely a song that I have to revisit. In fact, this whole album is an album that I have to revisit. So if you guys are interested, I can do like a video sort of summing up my overall thoughts about the album as a whole. Um, and I need some more time for that. You know what I mean? I never understand how critics and stuff can like listen to an album like one time or even two times and just conclude how they feel about it. I feel like an album for me takes a long time. It's got to settle in for me to really have like analysis and conclusion on how I feel of it as a whole, because I always pick up new things, I always find new meanings, and all these sorts of all these sorts of stuff. Things might get better, things might get worse. You never know. Um, but the Outlaw Tournament, great song, extended song. They ended it on a very they love. I know Metallica likes to do this. They like to end on a very epic, long instrumental. They like to bring the musicianship to in the last song of the album. They really did that here, in a very unique, tasteful way. So that's Outlaw Torn, man. Um, Great song, and overall, good album. I can say this was a good album because there were some very high moments here. And yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. I enjoyed this ride. Um, like and subscribe. I'll upload a couple more videos tonight. I know I've been slacking recently. Um, you know, no excuses. Gonna upload some more videos, guys. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe. It's the Sandman checking out. Peace.